Screen share. Okay, now this is the real Guardian. First, there's a really important announcement I have to make right now, so don't skip it. Okay, I have to go away for like a week, and the reason being family and legal stuff. That's all you need to know. Next, I want to thank everyone. We are almost at 90 subs, but we got to 80 and we're almost at 90 subs. I want to thank you all for the support. Also, if we get to 100 subs, I'd like to ask you guys this. So I want what I'm about to say is, even if you're not a subscriber, comment. When we get to 100, I have 3 ideas, and here they are. One, I can do a new what if so that I can get over my burnout, because when I get done reading the script, you'll realize what I had to do in order to get past the burnout. Second, I could open up and talk about myself and explain why I've started YouTube, just in general. I'd like to do that if you guys would like it. Or I could just do both. So please just leave a comment there saying what you'd like me to do. And also, I want to do this more full time, but I'd have to know if you guys would be willing for me to like do something like Patreon and support the channel that way, so that I can actually do it full time. I'd like you to comment as well. So honestly, if you make a comment about all this, just try to say like what you want for the 100 special, and saying yes, we want to support the channel, basically. Okay. Now, all rights go to the respective owners. Now, as you know, we're going to start with this what if, and this what if is my most popular one right now. Sorry. And that is, what if Naruto had his own unique clan in dojutsu? Part 3. So, let's just get this son of a B word started, guys. We start with Shizune trying to get up, but was barely able to, with the white-haired woman grabbing her and stopping her from falling to the ground by helping her stand up on her feet. With Shizune realizing who this is and just saying, "You're the copycat ninja Kakashi Hatake, aren't you?" With that, she just nods. That said, I sensed the dojutsu's activation, so I came rushing over here. This causing Shizune to give a very puzzled look. Seeing this, Kakashi responded, "I sensed that power many years before, and I made a promise to Lily-sensei if she died and Naruto ever awakened, I'd help him master it. She also taught me she also taught me some of the basics on how it works and how to sense it. Makes a very unique dojutsu in that regard." Shizune, sorry, I'm still flipping on her name, then nodded. Just then, a purple-haired Anbu body flickers in to see what was going on, asking, "Are you both okay?" With Shizune saying, "I will heal, but Naruto's in the worst shape." Kakashi was checking him, saying he is. "We need to get him to Lady Tsunade right now, or he'll die. The side effect of him awakening that power and not using it properly and too much of it. Okay, I'll carry him on my back. You, the Amu, help her get back. Now, where is the lady?" With Shizune getting through some panted breath saying she's at the hospital. "You go now and we'll follow." With that, Kakashi just nods and blitzes to the hospital as fast as she can. And with how the Amu, Shizune is going as fast as they can as well. I then cut to the hospital with Tsunade arguing over something with a doctor, telling him he's an idiot, and if he does this, he will kill his patient. As they're getting into a more heated argument, Kakashi then bursts through a window nearby, causing Tsunade to go on the defensive and the doctor just to run off like a chicken. She then said, Who are you?" And then, with Kakashi, realizing it was Kakashi, quickly dropping Naruto to the floor, then saying, "He's about to die. He's awakened that," with a complete look of horror now stringing onto Tsunade's face. As she runs up, grabbing Naruto, they're telling her, "Come with me now. I need you to help set up I need help setting up the emergency room." With that, Kakashi just nods, rushing with Lady Tsunade into the nearest emergency room. With Tsunade then saying, "Okay," pointing to a tray nearby, "Clear it," and then pointing to a cabinet as well, and fill it with this as she lists off various trucker restoring drugs and medical supplies and tools she's going to need. Kakashi then moves as fast as she can, filling the tray and quickly sliding to her. By this time, Tsunade has already gotten Naruto on the table and has already got him in a prep state. She's already starting to pump chakra into Naruto since his main concern right now is chakra loss. She then grabs the drugs and the medical supplies and tools. She grabs the drugs and some of the medical supplies, giving it to Naruto. But then she has to start grabbing tools since she realizes that his heartbeat is starting to get too low, as it's getting to the point where it's about to stop. She's doing this all while tears are just streaming down her face. Then she's saying to Kakashi, I need you to go outside and tell people that no one's allowed in this room. And if anyone tries to enter, turn them away. If they will not listen, threaten them. And if that doesn't work, you have my permission to kill them. We need to keep Naruto completely safe right now in this state, since we don't know when the root will attack again. Because I am guessing that's what happened, isn't it? With Kakashi just nodding. But as she's leaving, she heard Tsunade say, I can't lose you. And keep saying over and over, I'm not going to lose you, as she's trying everything to help Naruto. This does confuse Kakashi, but she does as she tells him, walking out, standing guard in front of the room. Over time, she's turned away doctors and nurses that were trying to enter the room. Some of them were trying to help. Others just wanted to speak to Lady Tsunade about something that sounded so unimportant it wasn't worth her time. With her just saying she's under strict orders not to let any of them in. And if they got a problem with that, tapping her pouch that's on her back. Most of them run away in fear or shut up and walk away. Then realizing that a bandaged up woman is coming. And then she realizes it's the girl she saw earlier. She's walking on a crutch. She then asks, how is he? Kakashi saying, I don't know, but it seems like Lady Tsunade is about to have a mental breakdown. With this, Shizune cries and starts praying, then saying out loud, please Naruto, you can't die today. I can't lose you, and neither can she. This actually causing Kakashi to raise that famous one eyebrow, with that Shizune then telling her, I think you should know what's going on, especially if you want to keep that promise to Lily. See, Lady Tsunade has lost everyone, her brother, her family, her lover, her best friend. Finally, the person who was her savior and was her best friend's daughter at that fact. So I'm going to tell you the story. And just admit she was in a dark place in the story at the time of this story. And Lily also explained her whole side of it too one day to me. But I want you to know, do you really want to know? I don't mind not keeping my mouth shut. With Kakashi nodding, saying yes, I want to know. Well then, I'll tell you a story I like to call The Lily and the Slug. With that, we then open with a story with a young female Jonin that had flowing silver hair, that had brown eyes, and she was in the usual Jonin outfit. She was talking to a young man with blonde hair on the ground, with him saying, oh, come on, Lily, you just said yes to marry me today, and we've been dating for years, so why am I groveling right now on the ground? Her answer being to him, yes, I agreed to that Minato today. But after all, someone's still on the doghouse for that earlier incident today that you were a big part of. With him saying, but that was Master Jiraiya. I did not want people and you were the women. With Lily saying, oh really? Then why did you say mission accomplished then Mr. Flash? Minato starts sweating bullets. He knows when she calls him Flash, he's basically a dead man to her. He then answers, to save his own skin, I have no excuse for that. I will take my punishment. She then smiles, saying, good. You're going to clean everything. The dishes, the house, and the bathroom next month. And I want a fully written apology and a full list of reasons why you will not do it again. Am I clear? With Minato then saying, yes. She then heard a voice in her head saying, you go, girl. With her laughing in her own head saying, Kurama, I don't know what I'd do without you some days. With Grandma chiming in, of course you don't know. Because I taught you how to master the art of whipping boys into proper shape. She then chuckles, well, you got that right. She then sees an Ambu body flicker in front of them, saying, Miss Lily, you're requested by the third. Then the Ambu disappears. She then tells Minato, the house better be spotless when I get back. Am I clear? Am I clear? With him just nodding yes. without him just nodding his head, saying yes. She then body flickers to the third's office. When she gets to the door, she then knocks. Hear the words, "You may enter." She walks in the office with the third waving an entire group of people with documents away, and after they leave, telling the Ombu to leave and come back after Miss Lily leaves. She's in good hands with his old student. Just then, all the Ombu around him disappear. Lily's saying, "Is it bothering you again, third?" He just nods his head, then saying out loud, "Without Tsunade, all I can do is beg you to use that dojutsu of yours at this point to help me." He then pulls up his shirt to reveal a massive wound that somehow has not killed him. Lily then sighing, I can only do so much. With him nodding, she then walks up to him. She activates her eye. She then starts channeling chakra and starts using some of her medical ninjutsu knowledge. With the words "sacrifice accepted" being heard, as just then part of her own chakra was being used, and the massive wound then healed to returning to a previous state where it was just a small flesh wound. She then said, "Third, this is temporary. I can't keep doing this. You will die soon. This is just preventing from happening faster, as it's getting worse. You need to listen to me. Please give me at least a month to find Lady Tsunade so that you can be healed properly." Then the third, blowing out his pipe, saying, "You're right about this at this point. That jujutsu of your clan has always amazed me. It can heal anything, and it can rewind things, like a fatal injury." Lily chimed in, saying, "Well, no, I could heal you completely, but since I am weaker than most Gisai, it would kill me. But if you're okay with that, I wouldn't mind doing it for you, third." He then cut her off in the angriest tone she's heard in his voice. "I will not let one of my personal students die for me," as he gritting his teeth in anger. Lily just nods her head. Then the third says, "Okay, here's the last known information about her. I will be sending you with Jiraiya." They're saying, "Really? I have to deal with that idiot?" With the third saying, "Yes, this is his specialty after all. This is his specialty after all." With some hope he can convince her to come back. He then sighs, "I want you both to leave in 3 hours. You have a month to find her and get back. Okay, Lily? And if not, head back to Leaf and treat me one last time, since that's all I got left. And let's let fate be fate. After all, I know the Gasai clan respects death above all else, and I've kind of been abusing your clan's power and disrespecting them by letting myself live." Lily just nods. She then body flickers back home to see Minato, cleaning like a madman. She then walks in, saying, "Good, you're at least trying. I'll be on a mission for the next month," since he finally agreed to it. But I have to deal with Jiraiya, though. Just then, a tick appeared on Minato's head. He then says, "When do you leave?" She then responds, "Within 3 hours." Then he said, "Okay, can I go with you to the gate?" She nods her head, not sure why. She got everything ready, and now we cut to the gate, as Lily is standing there waiting. Then Master Jiraiya finally body flickers in, saying, "Are you ready to go?" With Lily nodding her head. But before they could even start, Minato, grabbing Jiraiya aside and whispering in his ear, "If you peep on her, or touch her in any perverted way at all, then the next time I see you, Master, you will be dead." With him giving him the scariest smile he can. This causing Jiraiya to shake his head and saying, "Yes, sir." They then go on their way. Now they've been looking all around various villages and places for almost 3 weeks at this point, and they have finally tracked her down to a city they're in right now. Jiraiya, for once, has not tried to peep or get his research done because he knows both Lily or Minato would kill him. So he has been really upset and angry the whole time. But he's happy since they might finally get this over with. They set themselves up in an inn. Jiraiya then says, "Okay, let's get to the search, okay?" With Lily chiming in, "So, Are you going to stop to go stare at girls? The Jiraiya is screaming, I wish, because if I did that, you'd use me as a sacrifice of that power of yours. Woman, with her basically saying, yeah, I pretty much would, to be honest, without any hesitation. As she puts her finger to her mouth, giving a quirky little smile. But Jiraiya just sighing, okay. Check the usual places. Now they look for most of the day and find nothing. They then meet back up and compare notes with Lily asking, so, are you hungry? Because I could go for a bite to eat right now. The Jiraiya nodding his head. They then go into a bar/restaurant. As they walk in, and Jiraiya just mouth just drops as he screams, Tsunade! With Lily looking in that direction to see Lady Tsunade and a young-looking girl she doesn't recognize with her. And Tsunade then screams, Jiraiya! What the hell are you doing here? With him running up to her, saying to find you, of course, with her just clicking her tongue. What do you want? As they both sat down, with Jiraiya saying, so have you heard about the rumors around the third? With her saying, yeah, I've heard. He suffered from fatal injury and his days are numbered. Jiraiya saying, then you know why we need you. Lady Tsunade, the third has asked personally that you come back to leave, help heal him. Not as the Hokage, but as your teacher and a friend. Tsunade then just starts to drink. She then says, why should I help that old fool of a teacher? And one of those worthless Hokage. This causing the anger in Lily to rise to a boiling point. They're saying, I can't believe you. Your teacher and my father has asked you to help him. And you will do nothing? And you insult the Hokage, who your own grandfather, the first was one. You are not only completely lying about your age, pointing at her at this point, but a piece of trash that should never be a Hokage, because you will never be worthy of it. And you should have never been allowed to be the student of the great man that is both my teacher and father. You can go to hell. This causing Tsunade to be in full rage mode, slamming her hand on the table, saying, we're taking this outside right now. As she grabs Lily by the collar and dragging her outside. She then saying, okay, I'm going to beat you with only one finger, Miss Brat. With her putting it up, just then Lily saying, Brat, well, I'll show you who's a brat. She then starts weaving hand signs saying, dark release, void strike. As a portal appears, and she jumps through it quickly, and with her sword quickly striking at Tsunade, saying to herself, so this is last of the Gesai, adopted and raised by the third, huh? She then saying out loud, I've heard you have a legendary name, the Devouring Silver Abyss. Let's see if you live up to it. After all, getting even one of those Gesai releases would have once been the greatest celebration by the clan. She then smirks as she just slams a blade into the ground, breaking it, flicking Lily in the head as she starts going back. She then weaves hand signs saying dark release, dark shadow fist, as a massive fist goes out of her body and it slams Tsunade. As Lily gets back on her feet, thinking she hit her, then seeing Tsunade has caught it with just her finger. She clicks her tongue. She then says Tsunade says, it's time to end this, little one, because you are nowhere near my level. She then, using her finger, slams it to the ground, causing it to shatter. As Lily is jumping around rubble, trying not to get hit, that's been kicked up not only in the air but on the ground. As Tsunade then body flickers behind her as she's about to get hit. Lily weaves hand signs saying dark release void gate. The gate just big enough for her appears as she quickly jumps in it and it opens on the other side as she's panting, trying to catch her breath, thinking to herself, I know way more jutsu than this. But against someone of her level, my only hope to even it is the Gesai releases. They drain too much chakra, not as much as I, but still. She then stands up, weaving hand signs saying Shadow Claw. She then saying, I only got one shot at this move. She then throws a kunai at Tsunade, then the Shadow appears behind her. Tsunade then saying, wait, she knows the flying Raiji? How? as the clone then weaves a hand sign with the real Lily weaving one as well. The real Lily saying dark release, dark devouring chakra rods as they extend out of her hand. The clone finishing its weaving hand sign saying light release, flashbang, as then a bright light flashes in Snotty's eyes, blinding her. And she thought she has two of the Kasai releases. She then just nods. She then thinks to herself, "You really are powerful. You really are a powerful Kasai." Just then, the nods pierced her as Lily thought she hit her good, but then there was a puff of smoke, and she realized Snotty was about to jab her with her single finger into the gut. She jumped back, saying this is her final chance. It may hurt her, cost her life, maybe even the whole world, but if it's to save him, I have no other choice. As she weaves a hand sign, as she says, dark release. Dark, dark release. Devouring black hole. Void. As then a small void is trying to form. But then Snotty, realizing what she's about to do, quickly blitzes Lily and jabs her into the gut with her finger. By doing this, breaking her concentration and stopping the jutsu from forming. With her then saying, "You have a death wish that is most forbidden Gasai dark techniques that is known. This one move almost devoured the world, and if you're not careful, you get sucked up in it and die. Plus, it's never been finished. Not even the head of the clan, the original head of the clan, could finish it." Lily said, "I know that. These are my clan's techniques, but I will not back down. When someone insults the third, my father, and the Hokage." With Snai then saying, "Oh, really? Why is that?" With Lily then saying, "Simple, because I will become the strongest shinobi in the world, and I will surpass all the Hokage, because this is my dream." With a resolve and a look that made Snotty remember thoughts long buried in her mind. She then says, "Fine, so let's make a bet." With Shizune shouting, "My lady, don't do it," with Sonati just ignoring her. She then says, "I'll give you a week to complete that jutsu of your clan. And if you do, I'll come back to the leaf, heal the Hokage, and actually help it. But if you fail, you'll use that legendary clan fortune of yours to pay off all my debts, and I get to go away scot-free. Is this a deal?" With Lily getting up quickly and just shaking her hand, saying, "Deal." Both Shizune and Jiraiya are just sweating beads. And then finally, Jiraiya thought, "Wait, if she's busy, I can finally get my research done." As he gleams with a perverted look in his eye, and his face as well. Just then, Lily walking up with a tick in her forehead, saying, "If you try to get that research done, trust me, you'll regret it," saying it in a childish tone. With Jiraiya just sighing, thinking to himself, "Man, she has killed my next book's progress. I can't wait to get this over with." Lily then just body flickers away, with Society saying, "Well, I am loving this girl. She's keeping you in check, Jiraiya." And she jabs him in the shoulder, with him just groaning. Then she says, "Oh well, I'm going back in the drink. You want to join me?" With Tsunade following her and Jiraiya following suit. With Tsunade thinking to herself, "So that's your daughter, Rena? Huh, Rena?" She takes a deep breath and walks away, started thinking all the good times they had together, with a tear just dropping down her eyes, just saying to herself, "Why did you have to die as well?" That being her final thoughts. As we cut to a forest far away from the city, with Lily stopping, saying, "This is perfect." The Kurama telling her, "I cannot believe this. You're smarter than this." Lily then saying, "I know, but I need to help to save my former master and father." And to be honest, I've been wanting to finish the technique of the clan for a couple of years now. I'm just saying, you've been trying, and it's almost 6 years now, and you've been given a week to finish it? Lily says, "You know I love a time crunch to get something done." The Kurama just sighs and tells Lily, "Okay." And we start with Lily's training. It's been about 3 days at this point, with Lily in a near complete state of chakra exhaustion. With her just saying, Kurama, give me enough to activate the eye's power. They're saying, all right. She then turns on the eye, looking at a tree, looking at trees with the word sacrifice accepted. Just then pop echoing through her head. As about a quarter of them got consumed with a void. As then all the chakra she had lost had been restored. With Kurama saying, that dojutsu, you don't know everything it can do, but it is just too overpowered. Really saying yes, but when you use it to restore my chakra like I did, you have to pay with stamina instead. And it's a heavy drain on you as well. So, like all forms of power, there's always going to be give and take with it. She then sighs. She has to start getting training again. Now, 2 more days have passed with Tsunade has been secretly watching her over time. Then she sees her collapsing, saying she's only got 40 hours left with that bet. With her jumping down to the ground as she walks up to Lily, restoring her chakra, saying to herself, Rina, your daughter's just as loose cannon as you. But it causes her to smile. Remember that time, just before her grandfather died, that Rina made a bet with him that she could eat more and ended up losing pretty badly. With him telling her she should never make bets. She knows she can't win. With her thinking, maybe I should have taken my own grandfather's advice on that. As then she flickers back with Lily and put her in their hotel room. As she's walking out, Jiraiya then just stops her, saying, you know she's not going to stop until she wins that bet, right? With Tsunade saying, I know. She's like her mother in that regard. With a smile. Them saying yes. So do you even remember that promise you made? Or did you just decide to forget it and break it? With Jiraiya giving a death glare, make it clear by his presence alone, if she dies doing this, he's going to kill her without any hesitation. She then says, yeah, I remember. And he responds with good as he walks away, trying to calm himself down from the anger. As Tsunade just smashes the hallway wall, saying, how can she not forget that was the last straw? As she remembers back to the time after the war, as she was desperately trying to heal Rina, who was dying and fading away fast. She was screaming out to her, I've lost everyone and I can't lose you too. With Rina realizing what was happening, wiping my tears, saying, Tsunade, at this point I know it's my time. So promise me this. You'll make sure my baby, Lily, lives through this. And please make sure our clan survive. As then she gives birth to a beautiful baby girl, drawing her last breath. Shortly after, keeping her first promise by making sure that the third was willing to raise her and take care of her, she then decides right then and there to leave the leaf because she had lost everything and everyone she had cared about at that point. She's walking away depressed with thoughts in her head without realizing the presence of many eyes watching her. Now we cut to the mindscape with Kurama and Lily. As she's sitting in front of the gate trying to think. Now in this, with Kurama and Lily, she actually never showed her human form like she did with Naruto. So she only knows her as the fox. She then tells Lily that she's going to have to rest for a full 24 hours after all that stupid trying she did. Lily's saying, I know, but how am I going to get it to work? Then Kurama's saying, okay, let's go over this. You know light and dark are two sides of the same coin. They can be used together, but they also can be used to oppose each other as well. You realized during the training session that you could use the light to weaken the darkness and the black hole's effect, but you had to use too much chakra and too much light to weaken it to make it even usable to a degree. And that basically makes the technique worthless. So how I'm going to ask you, what do you think do you need to do? As Lily sat there for a time, she was staring at the cage, and then she saw the tag and screaming out, that's it, as she starts making things appear in her mind. That being ink, paper, and something to write with. The Kurama actually saying, that's a brilliant idea. You just need to make the right one. Now we cut to last day with the bet. It's not just sitting in a hotel, in a random hotel lobby, thinking to herself about all that has happened to her in the past few days, with Shizune just standing nearby being completely worried about her. Just then, a random man was just thrown through the lobby door, and Snotty got up to see if he was alright, and she checked him. He was just passed out, but since she noticed a note on the dress to her that just said these words alone: "Outskirts, go alone." She then got up saying, "I'm leaving," with Shizune trying to stop her, but she gut punched her. Now we cut to the hotel that Lily and Jiraiya have been staying in, with Lily just waking up and being sore and groggy as she walks out of the room with Jiraiya standing outside with a freaking out Shizune and with try to calm her. Then Lily walks over, asking what is happening. Shizune then explained what is happening and what she read and the note the man gave her as she woke up as she handed it to her. With Lily just saying out loud she had to go do something that stupid. She then walks up to Jiraiya saying, "I need all the stuff for stealing now." And okay. He then just nods his head as we cut to the outskirts of the town, where Snotty is meeting with a small army of shinobi, with her saying, "I think I know what you want," as the leader then of them says, "I'll help you against healing the third, because if you are, that's going to be a problem for all of us," as he draws out a small blade. Snotty then saying, "I'm not going to help that old fool out." Just then she tries to walk away, but one of them just throws a kunai at her. She does dodge it, but then this young female shinobi says, "Sorry, but I don't think we should take any chances at all," as they ready themselves to attack. As Tsunade readies herself to fight, just then Lily, Jiraiya, and Shizune body flicker in. They're saying, "What are you doing here? This is my fight, not yours." With Lily saying, "I'm here to win a bet," with her biggest scream possible. She then got out a kunai, wrapping a full ceiling tag around it. As she throws it into the crowd, causing them to look down, thinking, is she going to use the flying Raiden? Because if this is a legendary Devour, she knows that technique. She then says, "Shadow Clone Jutsu." Just then, two clones appear. One quickly weaving hand signs saying, "Light release, light field." As a bright white circle expanded around the clone, everyone, including the whole field, was now covered. Just then, the other clone eyes turn slit red as it's pumping red chakra into the real Lily. As she's weaving hands saying, "Dark release, devouring black hole void." As then a massive void, creating a black hole, appears above the crowd of shinobi as they're starting to freak out. As they are starting to get sucked into it, with them trying to escape, but they're knocking themselves and others into each other and throwing others into the hole just trying to save themselves. But nothing's working, as then they all get sucked in. Then a light field around them is being absorbed, and as it's getting sucked, it's causing the hole to shrink in mass, size, and power. Then finally the kunai getting sucked in, and the hole completely closes, with the kunai dropping straight to the ground. After this, Lily just completely collapses to the ground with both of her clones instantly poofing away, with everyone just in shock that she completed a dojutsu in a week that the original head of their clan could never finish. Then Tsunade laughed out loud saying, "Well, that was brilliant." With the other two looking at her completely confused. Then she says with a smirk, "Do you know what she did? She did it by doing two things. She used the light release to weaken the dark release and the black hole's effect. Then she made her own seal designed to close and seal away the hole permanently." With Jiraiya just saying, "She's brilliant. No wonder why Minato fell in love with her." So I then agreed with him, saying, "But it looks like it's my loss." Shizune and Jiraiya slapping themselves on the head, saying, "Oh, right, in unison, you lost the bet." With Snotty looking at the passed out Lily, checking her, making sure she's alright, realizing she's just passed herself out again from chakra loss, exhaustion. Then saying to herself, "Your daughter's just as amazing as you." She smiles, saying out loud, "The first time I feel truly happy." Okay, once Lily rests, we're heading straight back to Leaf. I have an old teacher to heal. and a lot of wounds to repair. Just then, we cut to Naruto, as he's somehow standing on the moon, completely confused, and then finally just screaming out loud, "How did I get here?" With that, this is the end of the what if. It's a lot longer than the usual ones, almost 40 minutes, because I thought, because I was going to be gone for a week, I should give you guys a little bit longer what if. I hope you enjoy it. And yes, for anyone that hadn't figured out what I did, I used one of my favorite arcs from Naruto because I've been suffering some severe writer's block. So, me dealing with all the relatives and this legal stuff, hopefully in between my breaks, I can get enough rest that I can get out of my writer's block. And again, what I said about the announcement, I really want you guys to comment. So, I want you guys to like, comment, subscribe. Share this video if you want to. Get me some more people on here. Now, this is The Real Guardian, signing off.